this video, we are unboxing Meguiar's Smooth Surface Clay Kit, and I'm gonna be debunking 3 myths that circulate in the detailing world regarding clay bars. Now let's get straight into it. What's going on? So glad you're here and welcome back to the Wilson Auto Detailing community. If you're a professional auto detailer who wants to become more successful and profitable in your business, or just a car enthusiast who wants to improve your detailing ability, then definitely consider hitting that big red subscribe button right below this video. So here it is, Meguiar's Smooth Surface Clay Kit. Now, this is a clay bar kit that you can pick up at like AutoZone or O'Reilly, one of your kind of average retail automotive stores. It's not something that has to be ordered on Amazon or ordered online, though it definitely can be. Let's go ahead and get right into this and see what we have inside. So first thing we got, microfiber towel, of course, because why would any detailing company give you anything without a microfiber towel? Then we have, of course, your Meguiar's Quick Detailer. And then, of course, to finish us off, we have the clay bar. So let's check it out. Here is one clay bar, and here is another clay bar. So what I'm gonna do is actually mash these together, because some of you guys, if you'd like, you could use them separately, which is totally fine, but I want my clay bar to be kind of as big as possible without being cumbersome, because the bigger I can make my clay bar without it being cumbersome to work with, the more surface area of the paint I can actually clay at one single time. Now, how much did I spend in total on this clay kit that came with the 2 bars of clay, 160 grams, the Meguiar's Quick Detailer, and the super soft sort of waxing, polishing microfiber towel? I believe it was $18.67. Now, is that a good deal? I would say yes, for what it comes with. That's a great deal, because clay bars last for a really long time, which actually gets me into my first myth that I would like to debunk. Myth number 1 in the auto detailing world regarding clay bars, and some of you guys are gonna wanna stone me because I'm saying this, and that's okay, I can take the heat, is this: every time you drop your clay bar on the ground, you have to buy an all new one. That simply is not true. I've proved it time and time again. In fact, you can check out other detailers' channel on YouTube who've been doing this for actually far longer than I have, 30 years, 35 years, and they will actually tell you the same exact thing. The most unreasonable thing I think I've ever heard about clay bars is every time you drop it on the ground, you have to replace it. Well, you can probably infer this on your own, but because the clay bar's job is to actually grab surface contaminants, embed them in the clay so that you can actually have a smooth, glassy surface behind, when you drop this on the ground, it is going to stick to all of that gravel. And so many detailers believe that because I drop it and it's got that stuff all stuck to it, if I use it again and put it on the paint, it's gonna scratch the paint. Well, the answer to that question is yes, it will scratch the paint, assuming you just pick it up off the ground and start wiping it all over the paint. But can you let common sense lead in this area and simply take 3 or 4 minutes and sift through the clay, pull out all the really big pieces and maybe the medium-sized pieces, flatten out the clay, even get a better visual of anything that's still left in there, pull it out, pull some of the clay off even and throw it away, and then remold it, sort of knead it, and guess what? Anything that you didn't get is gonna be so minuscule that it's gonna embed in the clay just like the surface contaminants are going to, and when you reapply it to the car, it's not going to scratch the paint. And that's the whole point of a clay bar. It embeds the contaminants so that when it does pick them up, it doesn't push them to the surface and scratch the paint. It embeds them deep inside the clay. That's the entire point of what this thing is for. Now, some of you are freaking out right now, I know, because you're like, Luke, you keep saying it's not gonna scratch the paint, but it is gonna scratch the paint. So let me get technical for a second. Every time you use a clay bar on the surface of a car's paint, is it going to abrade the paint to a certain level? Yes, it is. But guess what? Every time you touch touch the paint on your car, it's going to abrade the paint at a certain level, at a microscopic level. Sometimes in the detailing world we call them micro scratches. So are there certain instances when after you use a clay bar, you're probably going to want to follow up with a polish or something like that? Absolutely. But is that true for every instance? Not at all, because it's impossible to detail a car avoiding micro scratches altogether. At a certain level, if you get technical, no matter what you do, no matter how many foam cannons you use, no matter how many 2-bucket, 3-bucket, 20-bucket wash methods you use, no matter how much lubricant you have using your clay bar, you are at a level going to put micro scratches in there. So it can't be avoided altogether. Can it be minimized? Absolutely. But yes, at a level, you will abrade the paint to some degree, though it's not going to be at a visual degree from the naked eye when you use a clay bar, at least 99% of the time. Myth number 2 is that clay bars are a thing of the past in the detailing world, and you no longer have any use for traditional clay bars because you have things like nano skin mitts and you have certain clay bar replacements. Am I a fan of Nanoskin's new kind of clay bar replacement? Yes, I am. Do I think there's a time and a place to use it? Absolutely. Do I think that it replaces entirely a traditional clay bar? Not at all. Why do I think that? Well, my number one concern with clay bar replacements is that they don't embed surface contaminants inside the body of whatever tool you're using. So in a clay bar, the surface contaminants, like I said before, are embedded into this clay. They're not rolling around on the surface and they're not being dragged anymore because they're being pushed into the clay. On these other clay bar replacements, that is not the case. Now, do I think that it causes more scratching or less scratching? I haven't done enough testing to form an opinion about that. But do I think that clay bars, traditional clay bars, have been replaced entirely in the detailing world? Not at all. I can think of so many situations where a clay bar is very, very necessary. So, do I think that these can be replaced in some instances? Absolutely. Can they always be replaced? Not at all. Myth number 3, and one question that I actually receive on a pretty regular basis on the Wilson Auto Detailing channel is, are clay bars useless now and a waste of time because there's certain chemical products that have replaced them? Chemical products like Iron X. Well, number one, products like Iron X actually don't even in and of themselves claim to be clay bar replacements. They are not clay bar replacements. They precede clay bar usage. In other words, you would use a product like Iron X before you use a clay bar, but you would still always follow up with a clay bar. It's an awesome product, and it is a huge, in my opinion, it's a huge technological and kind of chemical engineering advancement in the detailing world, products that can do that sort of thing. But does it replace a clay bar? No, and the companies themselves do not claim that it is a clay bar replacement. If anything, they precede a clay bar when you're using something like that. So, all in all, a clay bar in the traditional sense of the word, in my opinion, is an absolute necessity for any car enthusiast, driveway warrior, weekend warrior, professional detailer. No matter who you are, if you have any sort of interest in working on cars, a clay bar is very, very important. And the second major thing I want to get across in this video is that it doesn't need to be overthought. If you go on the forums, if you go on Amazon, if you go on the detailing websites, you're gonna get confused. But the thing is, it doesn't need to be a moment that's overthought. In fact, you don't even have to go on the internet and search deeply. You could go to Walmart, you could go to AutoZone, O'Reilly. They have these clay bar kits that actually come with everything that you need in order to clay bar a car effectively. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, hook up all that stuff in the YouTube comments below, because I always read those and I'm sure to get back to you guys as fast as I can. And if you're new here, then definitely consider subscribing, because I come out with videos all the time just like this on products, tools, strategies, communication skills, business skills, and so much more, all in an effort to help the pro detailers become more successful and profitable in their businesses. And on this channel, I share the exact strategies that took my auto detailing business into a full-time income with only part-time hours. So if you're interested in that, definitely consider subscribing. Thank you guys so much, and as always, from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video.